So, if you would know that sharing your talents or unique skills would save someone's life, would you do it more boldly and courageously? That's a very, very deep question. I'd like you to contemplate about that and really take a moment with your divine feminine and see what's the answer. And in my case, I actually have had several cases where actually I think people have died because of my shyness, not sharing my gifts or talents. And if I would have, they probably would still be here. And of course, we don't know 100%, but there is always that chance. So, and when you go deeper into why many of us are so scared to share our talents or the ways how we can, help others, there is a very, very deep underlying fear of being rejected or not accepted or some other deeper wounds, which we can actually all heal with the help of our inner family archetypes. It's really amazing how simple that actually is. So, some years ago, one of my relatives actually died in his early 60s. And what's really interesting about that is usually I actually checked in with him through Messenger quite often, but at that time I somehow didn't. And then I went to my grandmother's funeral, and he had just died a couple of months prior that. And it was a shock because he was a strong man, and suddenly some digestive issue was found, and a couple of months later he was dead. So now I started to wonder, what if I would have actually shared, my wellness program with him? Would he still be here spending Christmases with his kids and grandkids and sharing his gifts with the world? And of course, the results would maybe have taken longer time, but it really, pushed me to that next level and layer, like, oh my God, like, I have to stop being so shy and step up my game, courageously sharing my gifts and sharing my talents, my uniqueness. And there will be definitely someone for who this can be like a lifeline, an invitation or a lighthouse in the end of the tunnel. And you have maybe also noticed now the last month or so I have changed a little bit of the strategy, and I'm sharing more and so on. So I'm implementing what I'm saying, so that's another thing. And when I grew up, because I grew up with a grandmother who was very protective, and may she rest in peace, because the way she gave everything, all of her, in every possible way. Without her, I wouldn't be the woman I am today, and I really hope she is having fun up there, eating strawberries. And as I connected with her sometime, after she passed, she said, "Oh my God, Crystal, if I would have known that I can have my own garden here and not even need to do all the hard work, I would have come earlier," right? So she's having fun, so that's good to know. But yeah, the way she was raising me was really protective, and I was very shy till the end of the high school. I was like a potted plant in the class. I was always hiding, really scared of public speaking, and yeah, I was really You wouldn't even have noticed me at school. And then as I left home and her protective wings, everything started to change. So I went to the other extreme, trying everything out, doing all the crazy stuff, whether it was alcohol, drugs, smoking, like everything I couldn't do, everything I couldn't explore as a teenager. So I took this several years, just to kind of get it all out of my system. And I think it's very necessary that all teenagers have that time, because when you don't, it will catch up with you at one point in your life. So it's smarter to do it earlier than later. So, and as I was going about it, I started to get more possibilities and stuff happening. And there's this beautiful birds saying good morning to us. And courage was one of my new besties. So I got the beautiful scholarship to go to Danish Folk High School for 5 months. While there, I got the invitation to travel to beautiful Norway and Italy. I did some really crazy stuff, and from there on, this became a norm. At some point moving to Norway, being an au pair, from there studying at the university in Norwegian, and then going to my beautiful exchange year in Cape Town University for 5 months. Life-changing experience. Being together with 50,000 other students, most of them from Africa, and being a white girl in South Africa is no kidding. With all their past and so on. And from there on, going to Hawaii 3 times, 3 months at a time, then going to Mexico with one-way ticket, and going for a week, staying for 4 years. 1.5 years later, meeting my beautiful current husband there. So courage has been such a crucial part, in my general adventures, but now also I'm inviting you to use more of the courage to share your gifts, your uniqueness, your talents, because this can help us all to become more of who we love, and at the same time, who knows, maybe even save someone's life. So when people reach out to me and say Crystal, I probably need coaching with you. And then I always ask, why and what's going on and how can I help you? And we go deeper. There can be really painful things going on. And we can figure out ways how to really go deep and start to dig our way out from wherever people have created their interesting worlds, And many times what's happening is that people have got into these situations or circumstances because they have not really, consciously been present while this has been going on. So what I mean by that is, let's say someone who has lots of stress and now has created lots of bad habits to eat bad stuff and processed foods and artificial sugars and God knows what, and then it starts to create overweight and digestive issues and so many other things, then they are digging their own grave every day with every choice they are making. And it's very, very hard, I would say even impossible for them to dig out of that by themselves, because they're just like already heading downward spiral, and you need a little different consciousness, someone from the outside to guide you and help to make those other steps and maybe start to pull yourself out of it. Definitely has been my case. So at the time when I was looking for my Mr. Right, I did lots of classes and courses and programs and coaching and so on, and then I accumulated all, turned it around and said, okay, now I'm gonna really deep dive with it. And then my inner family archetypes actually became my coaches and guides, and I was able to do that because I'd done over 20 years of like inner work already. But many people who have no background in such like deep inner work may not have the ability to do that on their own with their inner guidance and higher level of consciousness there. So that's why having a coach or having a guide to help you to that next level is very important, and that's where all of us should look deeper into, like, what are my talents and my skills to really, share with the world. And once you figure those out, your life will turn very easy, because you are here to actually share those talents and skills and gifts. And many of us have been made to believe that that's not the case. You have to have a hard life, you have to pay your bills, you have to be responsible and do all of that, which I don't say that you don't need to do it, but there is another way. Once you tap into your talents, your skills, your uniqueness, what happens is it will start hard to have your value in place and your worth, because when that's not in place, then things can't manifest, so it will be still hard. So today's impulse is and share with the world, which could actually potentially save someone's life. And take it seriously, because that's quite a bit of responsibility, right? So take a moment with your inner woman, see what's the answer, and then don't hesitate. Take that courageous step, whatever that is. And I don't go deeper into it today. Maybe I'll do another impulse video about that. But that fear of being rejected, that's so deep. That's like going back to our ancestors, like hundreds, maybe even thousands of years ago, where we were all living communally, and rejection would have meant actually, being pushed out of the community and then literally dying in no time. And our collective consciousness remembers it, and that's why rejection is such a difficult and challenging thing for so many of us. And if you have on top of that some experiences from your childhood where rejection was like a common theme, then it just amplifies that. And then that's where we get people who have trouble with public speaking and freaking out where they are born, because that's the deep wound, and that's actually also a collective wound we should look deeper into. So I hope you find this inspiring, and if you know anyone else who would get inspiration, motivation from this beautiful challenge, still going, till the end of April while I'm recording this, 2024. And if you see it later, the value and tips are still relevant. I think probably even, very many years to come, because these are universal things I have discovered, and I'm just picking all of these things up now as we are journeying in this, learning also to trust and enjoy the divine feminine guidance, and not planning it ahead, which sometimes is very hard because this planet is so ruled by the masculine effort rational way of creation, and the coming 100 plus years we are all going to be learning the other way, the feminine way of creation, and then co-creation with the feminine masculine side. So this mark can start already now, not like in 50 or 60 years. So that's the impulse. Find your courage to share more of your gifts and talents, and as you find that, I guarantee you will be able to find amazing gifts and treasures for you and others in your life as well. So, and let me know if today's input resonated with you, and also how is your journey going with this Become Who You Love adventure. So I'm so excited to hear from you as well. And we also have a question post in the group, and if you're stuck somehow, you can also DM me. So lots of aloha.